Okay, everybody. This is a live chat and a live stream. So I will be talking to the people in chat. So if you don't like hearing the hellos, then I would suggest skipping ahead to about 10 minutes. Hi, Gail. Glad to see you. You forgot it. Hey, Painty Girl. Or Paint Girly. I don't know why I keep calling you Painty Girl. See, you've been doing some drawing. That's good. Happy to see that. Takes a little time, so don't get discouraged. I know a lot of people, they they want success off the get-go, but with drawing, it does take time. But it's kind of fun to see your progress. So I like to sign everything I do, and then you can look back on it, and it's really neat to see how much you've improved. Everybody gets it, girl. Gets it wrong. I guess you just answer by it now, eh? How's everyone? Anyone get snow? We got a whole pile of snow. I've been away for a few days this week, so I went into the city, and then when I came back, I had like a foot of snow in my driveway that I had to shovel. That wasn't fun. I was tired too. But it's supposed to get warmer next week, so it'll probably all melt very quickly. Probably wait for a few minutes before I get started. I thought today, a couple of days ago, Kathy, but not as much as they thought we might get. 4 inches, the worst was east. Yeah. Hi, Shauna. Hi, Lori. Yeah. I think the beginning of winter, that's their the way they predict things. They always, I swear, they increase the inches just in case. I don't think they really ever know. I guess it's always best to be safe than sorry. So you wouldn't want a whole slew of people out on the road if they aren't very good in driving with snow. Hi, Jilly. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm a lake effect too. I'm surrounded by lakes. So it's just one big snow globe here. Hey, Colleen. How are you? Oh, just had to increase my screen. I could hardly see the chat. Let's see. Here we go. You can't type. Join the group. Jean taught us well. We know how to figure it out. So I thought today I was going to do a little more on the face, because I kind of did more of a realistic face than the character face or whimsical face, as some people like to put it. So I thought I would do a little more in the character whimsical type of face. So it's a whole lot easier. It's quick, and it looks. I like them. If you're just wanting to do, in your journal, use faces or cards or whatever, they're great. Hi, Joan. And then later on, I can get more into the detail stuff, because that takes a lot of time. And I don't want to get you guys discouraged, because it really isn't fair for me to teach you realism when you're not familiar with all the anatomy and shading and stuff. So I'm going to do the character first. Then I'm going to do hair and eyes today. Does that sound good for you guys? Hey, Janet. Michael or Michelle? How do you like? I'm not sure. It looks like Michael. Yes, hair is a nightmare for me. That's it. I guess a lot of people have. Well, actually, I remember in art school doing hair and having to struggle with it. And back then, the teachers didn't really show you. They would look at your hair, figure it out. Well, that's what I'm in school for. No, they wouldn't help you. They just, oh, but I'll show you. I'll help you. And they're going to let you sit there scratching your head. Hey, Dorothy. Good to see you. Hope your weather there is a little drier. I grew up with a girl named Michael. So jealous because I loved her name. Yeah? Awesome. Do you get called Mike as the short form, or? Yes, happy birthday, Janet. I hope Robert's taking very good care of you. Mostly just Michael. It's been interesting having a guy's name. Yeah, I bet it was. Oh, nice. Oh, you're going to play with them then. They're so nice to use. I love them. You could do your black and white too with, do you have a black or grays? Well, actually, you could just use black and a white. And then you can just use your eraser for highlights, your kneaded eraser. I've been playing. This morning I have to admit I'm so intimidated. I do have black and white. Yeah, you just have to play. See what they do. Everybody does it differently too. Or just use a gray tone for your mid-tone, and then use either a pencil crayon or graphite to do your darkers. Or you could do it on a nice gray toned paper would be nice too. It looks cool. Oh, have you got some too, Shauna? Yeah, once you have a few, they're so nice. They are nice. Hey, Eileen. You're going to give it a go. I'm sure you'll have success with it. You think you're missing one set? I had one set for the longest time, and recent gifted another, being wanting all of them. Yeah, I hear you. I have well, I have the big set, but I don't have all the mica sets. I just don't use it mica that much. I have some plans. Not sure I chose the best colors, but I like them. Well, remember, you can also mix your colors to make another color, which is nice. Lena! I'm glad you're here. I loved your picture that you did of the trees. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I love that your creative thinking in doing stuff like that and using the perspective. That's awesome. Because all this stuff I'm teaching you goes into any type of art. You can use it. You just have to get out of, if you've been doing art in a certain way, it's hard to get out of that old way and get into the newer things that you learn. But you have to write them down or do them more often so that you get used to that. Oh, thanks, Lena. All right. So I did this one on the weekend, I think it was. I don't know. And it's my granddaughter, but it's not exactly looking like her. This I actually took a picture and sent it to my son and my granddaughter. And of course, my granddaughter loved it. She, oh, I look so older. That's exactly it. She looks older. Now, it does, you can tell it's her, but the reason why she looks older is because the shape of her face, it's too thin. She needs a fuller face. The eyes, nose, and mouth are pretty spot on, but the face is too thin. So yeah, the slight, and it's not much too, maybe an eighth of an inch more out would give her a younger look. So it's amazing how the slightest little alteration can change the look. And that is one of the reasons why I don't want you guys to do that, the realistic photo of somebody and then be disappointed because it didn't work out. Hey, Judy. So, what I thought I would do, put this aside, is first I want to address hair. So I just drew this quick little character drawing. Now this is your basic character drawing. So I'm just going to finish it. I was starting it while I was waiting. So what I did is the eyes first. I made my cross for the eyes in the center of the face. Hey, Jamie. And I lined up my eyes. So if you put your cross lines for your eyes, your nose, and your mouth, you'll keep things in the right position of where they're to go. Because if you don't, you'll find that your nose might be off center and you'll really notice it. So try and use your cross when you're doing even the character drawings, because it does help. Now see this eye? If I look in the camera, it's a little bigger than this one. So I'm going to make this one a little bit, oop, my pencil's broken. So let's make this one a little bigger. Or should we make it smaller? Probably bigger, because if it's a character, their eyes are usually bigger than what a human's eyes would be. Oh, this isn't a very good pencil. It's just broken all the way through, I think. And it goes up more. And this, that's a little better. And so I want to just the way I do eyebrows is just a straight line, and then right almost on the end of the eye, you turn it down. There's many ways of doing it. Depends on the expression of your character too. But this is just to get yourself comfortable with drawing faces that are proportionally right. Try do some of these first, and then we'll get into the realistic drawing. Can I bring you in a little bit? Let's see. Zoom. There. Hey, Beth. You really should get a different stump because this one's pretty smushed. So if you remember what I did with the nose, it's just shaded area, and then you take your pencil and you make a little C on the corners of that triangle. try to get them the same size. And then right where the outer edge would be of your nose, the wings of your nose, you can do another C. Then just, I really need a different, here, use this one. And then just put a little ball on the top. You can lighten it. Take the line out now. And that's all you need for the nose. For a character nose. It's a cute little nose. The mouth, take your pencil and make a little mark on the corners of the mouth and maybe one in the center. Make a little curve upwards. And then just on the very bottom of the lip, darken that a little bit. Then you just take your like that. And you can make a line from that and that. You can also take your eraser and smooth areas. Take that line out now. Put the Cupid's bow in. Lighten the bottom lip a little bit because the bottom lip's usually lighter than the top lip. Corners are usually a little bit and you can refine it whatever way you want, how much you want to do. The eyes, going to shade the top part of the eye because your sclera, which is the white part, is never all white. We'll give her a little bit of shadowing in the eye. Don't do a whole lot because you really don't need a lot of shadowing in if you're just doing a character. Depending on how you like your eyes to look, some people like to take the bottom line out. So you can take the bottom line out. Just under the eyeball towards the tear duct. Like that. And then you give her, you can always see the shelf, I call it, of the bottom of the lid, the thickness. So I always put that in just a bit. And then do your eyelashes. And your eyelashes are from the outer side of that line. So from here, it's this to do little triangles, kind of. And don't make them all the same size. And they normally get shorter as they go towards your eye, corner of the eye here. Sometimes there's hardly any at all. And then the top part, if you have mascara, you want more of a feminine eye with mascara on and big eyelashes, you can darken that, and then it's kind of like check marks. So it's a check mark, and then you go up. And you can make those into triangles too. Make the ones towards the corner of her eye longer, and as it gets towards the tear duct, they get shorter. And then you can take your stump again and shade that in a little bit. And that'll give her the look of mascara. So we'll do this one. So I want to outline it a little bit. You kind of curve them. And don't make them all the same size. And they all go different directions too. And then check. It's a little harder doing it on the other one, but and they give this one a little more. And then take your stump, give her a little more attitude with makeup. Okay, and then her eyes. The pupil's always really dark. And then you can color that whole eye in. I like to color the top part of the eye fairly dark. And then around the iris, I like that dark too. But it's up to you. You don't have to do that. It's whatever you like. And then you take your eraser, make a point on your eraser, and then I'm going to highlight just by taking a bit of that out. And then I get my, do I have a pen here? Let's see. Where's my, oh, there it is. You get a Sharpie or a Jelly Roll white pen, and then just put a dot of highlight across from where you took out some, and that'll make it look like it glows. You can add more. In the iris, you can add dots and flecks if you want, because every iris is different. Okay. And then you can add a little bit of dots and dashes here for a little bit of shine on her lip. And really, this is all you need for just a whimsy girl character. You can put a little bit of shadowing underneath her chin. But you don't have to get all too detailed with these kinds of drawings. Put a little in her ears. Okay. And then if you want to, you can also just flick some hairs in her eyebrows over top of that smudged area. And just remember which way the hairs grow on your eyebrows. So they normally grow to the outside of your head. Could you add cheeks? You don't necessarily, for this type of thing, you don't necessarily have to. You can if you want. You know, like if you were going to do this, just let's see. Depends, you know. A lot of times this is just enough. I looked at the eyebrow makeup and thought, oh my God. What? If you want to just give it a bit of color, you can. To do a cheek, I would probably just do a highlight or a shading right in here underneath the cheekbone. Like that. Doesn't have to be a lot. This is a little bit wonky. So it's very simple. That's all you have to do. And then you can, for hair, the trick for hair that looks for a character, you do it in chunks, not individual strands. So let's see, what should we give her? Let's give her bangs. So we'll give her a part. Let's see, her part will be here. So we still have to remember from your eyes to the chin is halfway. So from here to your center or your top of your head should be about the same distance. Okay, but then your hair is on top of that. Let's give her a bob. Now you can play with it for, you know, however you want to have it. But the trick is to put it in chunks. So this here would be a chunk. And this here would be a chunk. So if this was probably going behind her ear, so then anywhere close to her face, like behind her ear, would be shaded a little darker. And then you got to remember which way say the sun's coming this way. So you want to have all the highlights on this part of her head. So by her face, it always looks nice if you darken the lines by your face. It just shows your face up a little more. And then you don't have to do all the strands for each chunk. What you can do is shadow it all, and then it's always good to go in the direction of the hair when you're shadowing it. But just fill it in and then take your either a napkin or Kleenex or something and blend it in just to make a shade on the whole thing. So that's kind of like a base color in a way. So then you can put your darker from the part, maybe you've got some darker areas. You only need a few strands, I guess, to show where the shadows are in your hair in between. So it gives it depth. Like down in here, it would be shaded more because it's curving. The best pencil. This is really easy to get a really nice effect using pastels. You take your dark color and just smudge on where I'm doing this right now, and then you take away where you want your highlights. And you could use colored pencil or paint. So it's just a quick way of making your hair. Oh, it's not bad news again. Yeah, it's easier. I always use, you get more pencil, I guess you could say. So wherever it bunches is where you're gonna put more strokes for color. And then you can put, flyaways too. It's a quick way of you can shade around the base where the hair's hanging over the face. There might be a shadow from the hair. So you can always do that. Now there'd be probably some hair down here. Here. So quick ways of making your girls. The pretty girls that you see so many different artists doing for sketchbooks and stuff. Or not sketchbooks, journal pages and that type of thing. Thanks, Gail. So you don't need a whole lot. This is more character other than see the difference? So this is realism. And this is character. It's still really cool to draw. And what you can do is really neat. You can get a hair magazine and practice different hairstyles doing this. It's a lot of fun. I find the fastest way to paint a face. Paint. Yeah. Do it. Same type of thing though, Eileen. You can, instead of doing this type of face, which would take hours to paint, these take such a short amount of time. Doesn't matter what medium you're doing them in. These are great for journals. And then what you can do, if you want, do a bunch of eyes. Let's see, I'll get another piece of paper here. Do a bunch of eyes. So what I did was I put some lines down on this page, and they're equally apart. There's 3 sections. So in this section is the right eye, in this section is the left eye. So you can this way you can get your left and right eye done without it looking funny, because it is hard to get them in the right spot. And then if you want your corners to be equal with each other, you can do that, depending on how much so you can do expressions. And expressions in a face is mainly in the eyes and the mouth. So if your eye has a lot of white showing in it, that's usually surprise or fear sometimes. And also the eyebrows. So you can have, if it was like surprise, you would probably have the inner point of the eyebrow going up, and then this part down. Or if it's sometimes if there's a surprise, the whole eye showing. And the eyebrows might be very curved so that your forehead's moves your eyebrows right up. And if you're mad or angry, your eyes are usually a little bit closed. And your eyebrows are usually down. Maybe up like that. So really down. You are, Judy. What else? If you're tired, you probably have very sleepy. So this isn't you very, very, the top lid is down more. And your eyebrows are usually relaxed. So if you guys do the eye shapes of a normal eye, practice that first, and then go on Pinterest or Google and look for reference drawings for eyes, expressions in eyes. And there is a ton. And it's really interesting to see the differences in the eyes. And then another thing that you see a lot of is the mouth. Like sad mouth is usually the corners are turned down slightly. So you could make your characters with all kinds of emotions, which is cool. So there's usually turn down, well, a smile, of course, for happy. Mischievous, usually, let's see. They have one side of the mouth up, turned up. So it's like a mischievous little smile she's got. So a little smirk on the face. Yeah, there's tons, but it's really fun drawing them. And if you really want to be different from every single fancy, whimsical girl that you're seeing being drawn, I don't know about you, but when I look at a lot of these different people that are doing these classes, they're all the same. They're just like they look like they're staring into Neverland, and there's no expression on their face. If you really want somebody to look at your work and say, that's really cool, or there's a story there, put an expression on the face, and that'll happen. Or tilt the head back, or 3/4, or down. Don't do it just face on all the time. Give it some expression and mood, and it'll look awesome. It'll tell a story, and the little expression in their face, or their heads down and their eyes are looking up, that'll give them a little, oh, what's she thinking about? Like it does. It gives more interest in your drawing or your page or whatever you're doing. All right. So what I want you guys to do now, I did give you the pictures of the eyes. What was it, 2 or 3? 2? No. Yeah, about 2 videos back. Try and do those, and then look on the internet for expressions and use that same way of doing eyes, but with expressions. And I want you to do a whole page of them. So try and do the lines. So if you're finding that you're having troubles lining up your face, do your cross so that your eyes will be the same. That way you're not going to be frustrated. So from here to here to here to here are the same distance. So if you draw a bunch of lines, so 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, you'll get the spacing that your eyes should go. All right. And try and do full faces if you want. You could do the full face with the expression on it, so the mouth is a little different. Or if you want to just do the eyes from now, that's fine too. It's up to you. I leave it up to you. But that's the trick for a really interesting, even fancy girl or fantasy girl, or whatever you want to call them, pretty girls. Give them expression. and you'll like them a whole lot more. All right. Now, you get some mail or some books. Colleen, I got a book you're going to like. Wild and Crazy Animal Photography. This is so cute. There's like, I don't know, 6 or 7 of these. I just got this one just to see what they were like because I had never seen them before. But they are cute. This is a photographer, different photographers that have gotten these. And somebody's put titles on them. So there was 2 rhinos. There's the butt of this one, but it look because they're so roly and poly, it looks like that's a head on the butt of the other one. I think they're cute. Look at that one. Look at it. It looks like a spring. It says, "Don't do yoga." It's trapped in the feeder. A bunch of owls squished in. A laughing goat. That's a bug. Dragonfly. Deer in the wheat. Shut up, I've got this. And look at a duck was taken off behind the bear, so it looks like the bear's got wings as ears. That's cool. This kind of gives you ideas of using your bear photographs and then put wings behind it. Like you could make this type of thing. That's what I think these would be so cool. That reminds me of a cartoon. Yeah, that's cute. A deer with all the a bird with all the hairs from the animal he's probably getting nesting material. Hugging frogs. Great. Coming out of a toilet. I know. They would have cracked up. Oh God, get it off, get it off. I thought they were cute. Oh, school. Oh. Yeah, looks like two-headed giraffe. Seal laughing. Flying squirrel. Aw. Wet bird. I think they were cute. He's picking his nose. Yeah, conductor. Looks like he's conducting music. And he gets slapped by a fish. Oh, he looks cold. They're all full of really. I hate Mondays. Yeah. Cheetah observes the speed limit. Oh. There's one. Look at Janet. Eating corn. Look, I exercised this morning. It's fine. I like the sayings they put with them. Puffins. Poor. The sun is that way. I think they were so cute. There's a whole bunch of them. But there's like 7 of these books. So I just thought I had to get one to see what it was like. So that's what I got for now. Yeah, it's a great book. So what can we do now? I had this too. This is from Pinterest, I believe. That shows you the different expressions. One should look at that book every morning. Yeah. Okay, so what do you want to do now? Should I start a different stream? This is basically, that was the one we did from last week. Now see this eye, a little bit bigger. I can spot them afterwards. Watch you put Pan Pastels on Whimsical Girl. Oh, okay. I'll do that. Sure. Where did I just put it? There. All right. Janet, Get out your Pan Pastels. What colors have you got? So if you want, I can take out the colors that you have. Let's see. Just those. Skin tone, pastels, and 10 set. Well, that doesn't tell me anything. Skin tone. What are they calling skin tone? Does it say skin tone on the bottom? Because, you know, that most of them have like red iron oxide tint. Some people would call that skin tone. I've got this one. This is orange tint. This one's burnt sienna tint. So burnt sienna, extra dark shade tint, and red iron oxide. Okay. Burnt sienna, extra dark shade tint, and red iron shade. Burnt sienna. Okay, this is the tint. That's red iron oxide tint. Was red iron oxide a tint or just the red iron oxide? There's burnt sienna. There's burnt sienna shade. And that one was red iron oxide. Tint. Okay, there. And that's orange tint. Ouch. Let's see. Red, black. Looking for. Orange extra dark. I forgot. Burnt sienna tint, burnt sienna shade. Ouch. Okay, Michael. Good to have you here. What other color was there? Permanent. That one is orange extra dark. Let me see. Gold. What was that one? Payne's gray. This one. Raw umber. This one. All right, I think that's all I got. get my soft tool. Where did I put it? And a napkin. Let's see, a little ochre. Let's see, there it is. I knew I had an extra dark somewhere. Okay. Now, there's different ways you can go about this. This was used on my pumpkin. It's still got black on it. So I'm just rubbing it on a thing to get most of it off. Okay, so you can take your soft tools, and I like putting my darkest parts, shadows areas on first. Some people like putting their mid-tone on first. Depends how much you want on the, if you want the whole face done or do you want to leave some of it white. So if you were doing, you could start with your lightest, which is the tint, and just go over your whole area. And you just tap it. You don't go like this on it. You just need so little. And it's nice because it won't smear your graphite. Now, if you had, see how I had shadowed these areas? Some people like to use that as part of their shading, that they don't really use a color. They just use that graphite as their shade. So it's up to you whether you want to do that or not. So I would go probably this shade here. This is the burnt sienna shade. So she's going to have the dark around her eyes. So just a bit. If you get too much on, you can use your eraser, your kneadable eraser. Doesn't take much though. Okay, we'll just put some under here. want some around the edge of her hairline. You can actually go into your hairline. Don't forget her ears. Now, because she was a fantasy girl, her eyes are a little far apart. All right. This is a colorless blender. So you can use this to blend in your Pan Pastels a little smoother. So you just put a little bit on your thing and then just start smudging. And it does blend your stuff a little more. So you don't have so much blotching. The edges be blended more so you don't have a drastic line stop. Just wipe it off again. And I'm going to use this dark one right under here. Just be a little bit darker. Usually in the corners of your eyes by the bridge of your nose, it's usually quite dark. Depends how, again, see, I could get real detailed in this and then it wouldn't be whimsical anymore. Let's get some blender. So I got to be careful not to overdo it and lose that whimsical look. And then I take my eraser. So I'm just cleaning it by pulling it. And then I can take out the highlights in her nose. So let's give her a little button nose. And we'll just a little bit of a line coming down. Maybe the wings of her nose a little bit lighter. And then her cheek, just press. Where you want to lift some of that. You have to keep kneading your eraser because it does get dirty really quickly and it stops taking off the. The nice thing about this stuff is you take off too much, you can put some more on. See. So usually above on the eyebrow, just below the eyebrow, there's a highlight. We'll put some highlight in just above her eye on her forehead. Maybe right here. Let's fix this up a little bit. Okay. And let's see. What's this one? Virginia tint. Iron oxide tint. A little bit pinkier. So let's do some on the bottom of her cheek. Give her a little bit of color in her cheek. Usually your nose is a little bit pink too. I'll take some more of this, blend it in so we don't have some rough edges. Let's take a little bit out there. I want her having just a bit more cheekbone. Okay. So you can take off, put on, take off, put on. Give her a little more highlight. There, so far. Kind of hard to see in this. It's a little bit washed out from what it is. Let me see if I can darken it a bit. see. That's a little better. Yeah. Make this a little more. The blender is really nice because it does soften your edges. So if you are going to get into this type of stuff, I would suggest getting the blender, and you have less blotchiness, I guess you could say. Okay. Then for her hair, let's get into the dark. So we can then you can use this as your base and use the pencil crayon to finish it. That's what I normally do, is I'll use this as my base for portraits and then finish it with pencil crayon. Do all the real details. Let's do her lips. Let's see. I got this one. It's permanent red tint. Let's try it. We'll put this on first. See what it's going to do with this. And put some pink. Maybe some red. Let's see what I got. It's this one. Permanent red extra dark. Let's see. Just a smidgen on the bottom. Oop. Went over. Let's see. There. See if we can get this a little more smoother looking. See, and I would take pencil crayon and finish this, so probably the shadow under there. You could use a little more of this, I guess, but let's take some out for her. Her eyes. I guess we could do it blue. Let's clean this off. Slate blue. Here. Yeah, you can erase right back to the paper, Alina. If you have one of those electric erasers, they're great. Thanks, Judy. Thanks. So then you would take your pencil crayons and enhance it. So it depends on, the color combinations, how detailed you want to get. Like you can, if you're doing portraiture, this stuff is great because you can get really, really detailed. But it's quick. That's what I like about it. It's very, very quick. Let's see. this one? I think that's black. Yeah. That one. Dark umber. Here's a dark umber. So if we wanted to get really dark, we could. And you got to remember, I'm just using copy paper here. So if you had something with more tooth, you can put a whole lot more on. Or you could spray this with a fixative and then put more on, because the fixative will leave a tooth. Yeah. So there's your girl that you can make up. Give her any hairstyle, give her an expression. Put, well, if you wanted to, I could put, let me think. Or you can put little freckles on her face. You could put flowers in her hair, or earrings, nose piercing, whatever you want. Tattoo. That's fun. So I know these are a little on the pricey side of things, but if you get the portrait set, I would get the burnt sienna tint, red iron oxide tint, burnt sienna extra dark, raw umber shade is also very good. I like this one. And burnt sienna shade. And then maybe permanent red tint for a little bit of pink. That should do you. This is permanent red iron oxide extra dark, but you could get red iron X just dark would be good enough. You don't have to get the extra dark. It's pretty dark. And that should do you for faces. And then you can have the colored pencils finish it. So if you need to do the eyes, I wouldn't get Pan Pastels for the eyes or even really the lips, because you can use your colored pencil to do those. But this is great for the face, the skin, and the hair. So those few should do you for your hair. And get one of these colorless blenders to blend in your face. And that's all you should need if you want to start with this type of thing for this doing faces and a fixative. I'm coming just a minute. Yeah, so hopefully that helped you out if you want to get into this type of thing. Start with those colors for skin, and then you can, get one or two. If there's a color you might think you want, then you don't have to buy big sets. Just buy one or two of certain colors you're going to use. So I will just spray this with a fixative that, and any fixative can go on this stuff. It will make it a little darker with the spray fixative that you get, like Grumbacher, but it's nothing drastic. And it'll leave a nice tooth on it if you want to put extras on. And you have to fix it if you want to put pencil crayon or colored pencil on top. Where did you order your set? Actually, I got my set when Karen had her studio in my town that I lived in. So, but you can get them anywhere. I think pretty well any art store will have them. Yes, Gail, someone wants attention. Puppy love. So, next week, I think we'll probably do 3/4 view on the face, and what else? Maybe head tilts, that type of thing. What you have to look for, it's a different perspective you have to think about. It's a little bit of a foreshortening. So I think that's what we'll do next week. So do some homework, do a bunch of eyes, try and do one of your own faces. And remember to use that, where did I put it? Remember to use this here that I had on, you could download this from the other videos. Because this will help you keep everything where it's supposed to be. So till then, I might come on again some other time. I've got some really neat ideas for that book I found that has all the black and white photography in it. I'm thinking of combining that photography with colored photography and making it into an altered world type of thing. So I might come on and experiment. And if you want to join me, that would be great. All right. So if anyone else is streaming, you can put their link in the chat there. And until I see you next time, I'll see you probably in somebody's channel. And have a good day. Practice your drawing, and every time you do, you get better. So practice, practice. And we'll see you later, guys. Thanks. Bye.